Yeah, this is a jazz joint.
Air it out. I had to clear it out. I feel like Superman and tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. I feel that air it out. I had to clear it out. I feel like Superman and tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. Take off. I'm on a rocket, a space dog. Bought a new car from Elon, wanna race. I've been asking how long is it gonna take. I've been cracking the code, had to break it safe. I've been writing my wrongs, had to change my ways. I was stuck in one place, so I had to shake. They try holding me down, but I found my way. Roddy Rich and so bicycle love me. Ride away, then my heart went on ice again. Find the balance, my patience been going thin. In the field every day till I reach the end. I've been up on your side like we out of bounds. Ain't no way that they think that it's stopping now. I've been waiting for my turn to come around. I've been waiting for my turn to come around. Air it out. I had to clear it out. I feel like Superman and tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. I feel that air it out. I had to clear it out. I feel like Superman and tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out.
What is up, football fans, and welcome to the Air It Out podcast. I'm your humble host. My name is Avery, and I am joined. First of all, can we just say welcome back to the Air It Out podcast? It's been a while, ladies and gentlemen. We are so sorry that we have left you all without. We are so sorry that we have left you all fiending and hungering for the Air It Out podcast. We do apologize. A lot of different things that were moving around. So, forgive us, but we are back. What's good, the Game Master? What's good? What's going on? Listen, I'm joined here by a panel of just two of the most amazing analysts on the planet, if I do say so myself, but I'm not being biased or bragging here. I truly believe this. You know what? I'm going to introduce them, and I'm going to start with the one and only. If you didn't know, you can follow him at the one and only YouTube channel. His name is Juan.
What's up, everybody? Good to be back. Apologies for the I mean, you're in the comments, Chris, so you're technically on the show.
Chris, you throw it in the comments right now. Do you want to be on the podcast right now? We will add you right now. If you want to be on, we will add you right now. Say yes, and it's done. That's all I'm saying. You say yes, it's done. That's all I'm saying.
And
we got
and it's Coach.
Oh,
again! Oh my God!
Oh man! We
What's good, people? How we feeling?
It's going to be a good show. That's all I'm saying. Juan, say what's up to the people. Juan, say what's up.
Before I give Coach the mic, I just want to say it was Jets Honors Night at the NFL Honors. 2 Hall of Famers in Darrelle Revis and Joe Klecko, Offensive and Defensive Rookie of the Year, Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. Jet up, baby! And
you know what? We gotta let him have that. 2 Jets going to the Hall of Fame, 2 Jets getting offensive and defensive Rookie of the Year. I can't. You know what? He's right. He has every right to be a proud Jets fan right now. So shout out to him. I'm gonna throw that in there real quick. There's that.
It's too early. It's too early to show for the drama.
Let's give a shout out to our resident Eagles fan. I mean our resident Ravens. Let's give a shout out to Coach.
Early.
Coach,
what are we talking about here?
Fans, Coach. Do you want your team to win this weekend?
They're both birds.
Is your team going to win this weekend? Or
my team is unfortunately finito finished. And we got finito finished by the extension that never should have been, but it's okay. It is what it is. I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about this nonsense. But it's okay though. I know y'all miss me. I miss my guys. I miss the people. What's good, everybody? I'm happy to be back on, And let's get started because I feel like it's gonna be a really good show. We got everybody in town today.
I'm just tired of you denying your Eagles fandom. That's all. Like I'm
See, let's put it out here now. As a Philadelphia native, I'm always going to have a little bit of love for the Eagles because they're the home team, but they're not my team. Let's clarify it again. There's always, as a Philadelphia native, there's going to be love for the home team. The same way there's going to be hate for them Dallas Cowgirls. You know what I mean? But again, still a Ravens fan.
Okay, sure. But ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've known this, but there's been a pivotal, vital piece of the Air It Out podcast that has been missing for some time now. We've all missed this individual. This individual has done some amazing things in his life. He's doing amazing things, even currently. You know, he's traveling around the world, doing some work, all those different things. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he's an alpha man. He's doing his thing in the world, and I just want to shout out and bring back to the Air It Out podcast none other than the one and only Darius Riddick. Say, what is that? Say, welcome back.
Oh man, it's been a while. It's been a while since we all been on a pod. Like I can't even remember the last time we was all on a pod. And Juan, I had to do this. Just remember, Darrelle Revis got a Super Bowl win with the New England Patriots.
As a rental. But he goes into the Hall of Fame.
No, I didn't party. I stood there.
He got his ring with us.
There. Don't lie like that.
Be on next time after Eagles get ring number 2. Oh, he called me shot already.
I don't know about ring number 2. I don't know.
Chris, we appreciate you. Thank you for keeping the comment section hot. And shout out to Wifey. You know, she's always going to keep Coach humble and tell the truth about him partying on South Street with the Eagles, his actual team. You know, he's a huge fan of Jalen Hurts and
listen, whatever makes Wifey happy.
And AJ Brown and Miles Sanders.
We didn't know Coach played like that.
Dallas Goddard and
the list goes on and on.
I'm just saying, you know,
it goes on and on.
She's always going to keep
on my people later, people, while y'all talking.
Shout out to her. Listen, we're going to jump right into the show, guys. Listen, I mean, there is so much that has happened since we've been with you guys. I mean, we're talking about the end of the regular season. We're talking about the one and only smoking all of us in the game picks and winning the Air It Out podcast game picks. I mean, there is so much that is, she right. I think you saw the NFC. Ooh. Oh, wow.
There we go. I would see. This is why I can't do anything to be nice to my wife.
I mean, you know what? I think I saw them too. As a matter of fact, I think we have evidence too.
So we're gonna talk about a Cowboys game in October.
Is that an Eagle shirt on it?
Oh God! Not the Cowboys game in October.
You know,
that an Eagle shirt on them too. They say Eagles.
But anyway, listen. So, like I said, you know, the end of the regular season, the playoffs have came and went, and some pretty good playoff games. If I do might add to myself. In addition to that, I mean, Tom Brady has officially retired from the NFL for a second time, of course, but this time he has filed to the NFL like, I'm done, like I'm good, I'm gone, he's out of here. What's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers? But none of that matters, ladies and gentlemen, because tomorrow is the most important game of the NFL season. Super Bowl 57 is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot wait. I know you guys can't as well. We need 2 hours today at this rate. Literally, we need 2 hours at this rate because it's absolutely phenomenal.
I am down for a 2-hour show, man. I am so down.
Listen, so am I. But I need to talk to you guys. Super Bowl 57 is upon us. I mean, I really don't even know how to pose this question because there's so much surrounding this. Like, you've got two of the highest scoring offenses in the league, literally mirroring each other. So you've got one team who scored 565 points in the regular season. And then you've got another team who scored 565 points in the regular season. You've got a former MVP in Patrick Mahomes, but then he wins again this year, which some people believe that Jalen Hurts should have won it. You've got a guy who lost to the Patriots in their first year, then goes to the playoffs, and then they lose, and then they go, in their third year, and they make it to the Super Bowl, and Patrick Mahomes won that Super Bowl. So now it's the question: Does Jalen win it? It's so many different things. But then you got one of the top defenses in the league, one of the top offenses in the league. But then you've got the top tight end in the league with the top quarterback. There's so many narratives surrounding the Super Bowl that we could get into. We're not going to get into all those things. So I'm going to pose this question to you like this: What are you most looking forward to in Super Bowl 57? Juan, I'm going to start with you. Whether it's a matchup, whether it's a one-on-one battle, whether it's a coaching, what is the one thing that you are looking forward to most in Super Bowl 57?
So there's a lot of matchups that we can consider in this game.
Sure.
You talk about the first set of brothers to compete in a Super Bowl with Travis and Jason Kelce. We could talk about Andy Reid.
I thought you were talking about the other type of brothers, but it's all good.
We could talk about Andy Reid coaching against his former team that he took to four straight NFC championships to in one Super Bowl.
5 total
NFC championships. Excuse me. We can even talk about the fact that it's the first time 2 black quarterbacks are starting for both teams in the Super Bowl, and Eagles, Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes for the Kansas City Chiefs. And they're also the youngest pair to do it at 25 and 27 both. So the matchups and storylines in this Super Bowl are astounding. But for me, this is a game of revenge. In 2013, current Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni was on the Kansas City Chiefs with Todd Haley. And then Todd Haley got fired and Andy Reid came in. And what did Andy Reid do? He fired Sirianni from that team. Sirianni then followed Reich to Indy, and then he became the coach of the former Andy Reid team. This is a game of revenge, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to a Sirianni that has brought this Eagles team from a wild card first round exit last year to top of the cream of the crop of the NFL. This running game that the Eagles are deploying is literally one of the best in the NFL. Jalen Hurts, while his shoulder's a little messed up, those legs are still grinding, along with Miles Sanders and 14, who's a rookie from Georgia that I can't remember his name right now, but I think it's Gainwell. Yeah, Gainwell has been killing it in the ground game with Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts, tearing opponents up, running that rugby scrimmage every time in the red zone. There's always a guaranteed touchdown. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are a 1-2 dynamic duo in the air. And against a Kansas City defense that, while it's good, has a great pass rush and a decent secondary, their running game is atrocious. Just bottom of the league, atrocious. Chris Jones, for all that he is as a great sack master in the interior, needs to get that run tackle game going for him. Karlaftis, a great pass rusher on the edge, can't secure it when it comes to the run. Like, there's so many matchups here, but the main thing I'm trying to get here is that the Sirianni revenge storyline is what I'm following, and I feel that he can overcome whatever Andy Reid will throw at him. So I'm just going to call it out early. I am taking the Eagles to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in this year's Super Bowl.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, the Unzip the Hoodie makes a very, very abrupt appearance in the Air It Out podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, even though it's not a hoodie, it is a jacket. We've seen the Unzip, and the one and only has made his Super Bowl pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. Mr. Riddick, I have to ask you and pose to you the same question. You heard from Juan. Obviously, there's some revenge there, right? There could be some animosity, right? With Sirianni being let go by the Andy Reid regime when he comes in. And so I want to talk to you. Is that the thing that you're looking forward to, or is there something else that you're looking forward to most in Super Bowl 57, which, again, ladies and gentlemen, takes place tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. in Arizona. It's going to be an amazing game. What are you looking forward to?
I like what Juan brought up, right? Sirianni revenge game. I'm pretty sure once he knew that they were playing the Kansas City Chiefs, he was really excited. But I know he wants to get that win to rub it in Andy Reid's face. But what I'm really looking forward to is how Jalen Hurts is going to go up against a guy like Patrick Mahomes, right? Like when we talk about quarterbacks and how they go up against each other, right? Like Peyton Manning versus Tom Brady, right? Like two elite quarterbacks going at it. This is the first time that Jalen Hurts is really going up against an elite quarterback and Patrick Mahomes, right? A guy who can literally go down the field 90 yards in 15 or less seconds because how powerful that offense is, right? I want to see how the Philadelphia Eagles are going to handle Travis Kelce. Are they going to jam him at the line? They're going to double team him, right? And then what does that mean for guys like Juju Smith-Schuster? Is he going to have a big game, right? Clyde Edwards-Helaire, is he going to step up, right? So really what I'm looking forward to is how are like the quarterback matchup, but how are the other guys that are not named Travis Kelce are going to step up, because that's what's really going to happen. For the Eagles, we know, like Juan said, the running game, right? The RPO, the Philadelphia Eagles running better than nobody, right? But what happens if Kansas City shuts that down? Now we're going to see Jalen Hurts really rely on his arm more than his leg, which I want to see him do both. But I'm really looking forward to how Jalen Hurts is going to handle going up against an elite quarterback. Can he go touchdown for touchdown with Patrick Mahomes and that offense? I would love to see a high-scoring Super Bowl. If it goes to overtime, that'll be great. But I think we're in for a good game, man. I think we're going to see a little bit of defense in the first half, and then I think in the second half, both teams are kind of going to open that playbook a little bit more, and we're going to see a lot of more creative plays, and the offenses are going to go crazy. So I think the first half, defense is going to make a statement. Obviously, the Eagles have one of the best defenses, and like Juan said, Kansas City, don't sleep on that defense. They're pretty good. And then I think that second half, we know what happens with Patrick Mahomes in the second half. He just comes alive, man, especially in the Super Bowl. So we'll see, man. But Jalen Hurts, this is his game, right? This silence all the haters. If he can somehow win this game, I think he'll shut all the haters and all the doubters up if he comes home, if they win the Super Bowl. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Shout out Isaiah Pacheco, Rutgers.
Yes.
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm not mad at it at all. All right, Coach, talk to me. What is the one thing that you're looking forward to most in Super Bowl 57? Do you agree with Mr. Riddick? Do you agree with the one and only? Is there something else that you're keying in on that you're like, I'm really interested to see how this plays out? Talk to us.
I already got what I wanted to see. Let's be honest. Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce, in that podcast for the last 2 weeks, the hilarity that has ensued, I'm loving every minute. I'm a faithful fan in New Heights, I believe. Listen, podcast has been great. I love to see the dynamic. That's been my highlight. But if we're talking the actual game, I got to disagree with both of my guys here. I love the points that they made, but that's not the main battle. All of those teams, the coaches head-to-head, they kind of go head-to-head. The quarterbacks, they never go head-to-head. They might battle somewhat, but it's not a true head-to-head. Now, the offensive line versus that defensive line, in particular, KC's O-line versus the Eagles' D-line, that's the matchup. Let's really be honest here. Because, see, KC's offensive line, they have Creed Humphrey, Pro Bowl, All-Pro center. Right guard, I believe it is Trey Smith, Pro Bowler. Also, last year was an All-Pro almost as a rookie. You have Orlando Brown, Pro Bowler again, who has low-key been one of the most dominant tackles the last few years. They've remade that offensive line, and that offensive line has been working like a dog. Oh, wait, I forgot to mention. Joe Tooney, the 5-year, $80 million man. They have a stacked offensive line. Now going against 4 rushers that have 10-plus sacks in a season.
It should be 5, honestly.
Hassan Reddick, Josh BG, Fletcher Cox. That's ridiculous.
Ndamukong Suh.
That's just the backups. I'm just talking the sack guys. I'm not even talking the entire rotation, because then you have to include Ndamukong Suh, Javon Hargraves, and on top of that, Big JD, Mr. Jordan Davis himself. Like, that is the matchup. If that offensive line of Kansas City can actually stop and maul and abuse and dominate the line, they're winning that game. But I don't see them abusing and dominating like that. I just don't see it. The Eagles' defensive line is going to be the best test they will see all year long. So whoever wins out of that battle is who I believe will win the game. That is the matchup right there.
For your matchup, Coach, you actually bring it up pretty interestingly. You brought up like the KC line. Yes, it is one of the better offensive lines in the NFL. 4 out of 5 of them are great, but there is a weakness at Andrew Wiley is allowing some more pressure than anyone else on that line. And the Eagles are going to know that. So if you target double team through Wiley on the right side, trying to force Patrick Mahomes on a bum ankle to try to go left, that's a matchup worth exploiting.
Or, they can always do what they've done. Rely on that Isaiah Pacheco running game, which has been dominant these last couple of games, and allow that offensive line to slow that pass rush down. Listen, you may have one weak link, but they still have that dominant rotation. When they rotate, that's when you have to strike. So again, that battle, that chess match inside, that's what I want to see. That's what's going to win the game right there.
I'm not mad at it. I like all the takes. And I'm okay with all of the takes. For me, we appreciate being back. We appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. Eagles will rush 4 or 5. Bracket Kelsey and Juju. MBS will have one to win 1-on-1 versus Slate and Bradbury. Not mad at it.
I'm not confident on the Kelsey one because, like, looking at that secondary for Philadelphia, who can you honestly match up with Kelsey? Kelsey is a scheme breaker.
So this is where my matchup, my thing to look forward to comes in. The thing I'm looking forward to is I look at it from a standpoint of this. Okay, when it comes to this game, I look at matchups. Okay. Who has the better matchup at quarterback? Clearly Kansas City, right? I think that's given. This is not a slight to Jalen Hurts. Patrick Mahomes just is that guy. He's the best quarterback in the NFL, okay? Who has the better matchup when it comes to offensive line? It's not even close to the Philadelphia Eagles. They have the best offensive line in the NFL. It's not close. Who has the leverage when it comes to running back? It's not close. It's the Philadelphia Eagles with Kenneth Gainwell, Miles Sanders, even Boston Scott thrown in the mix. And then if he's not a running back, but just him running the football, being a threat, Jalen Hurts and his legs is deadly. Who has the advantage at receiver? It's not close. It's the Philadelphia Eagles with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, don't forget. And let's not forget Kenneth Gainwell and Miles Sanders can catch the football out the backfield. It's not close. And then let's call it what it is. Quez Watkins gets down the field, okay? Quez Watkins, anyway. Who has the advantage on the defensive line? It's not close. It's the Philadelphia Eagles. 4 of their guys have double-digit sacks, and Fletcher Cox probably would have had them if he did not get hurt. He had 8. It's nothing to sneeze at as an interior D lineman. Like 8 sacks is nothing to sneeze at. So it's the advantage is there. Who has the advantage at linebacker? I'm going to lean toward the Eagles. I can see how you could say it's a wash. I'm going to lean toward the Eagles because I say this because Dean isn't playing. He's not even playing for real. Like Edwards is that good that Kobe Dean can't even get on the field. Like that's kind of scary, right?
Rarely get sent before Nakobe Dean.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So like that, I would give that edge to the Eagles, but I can understand why you would say it's a wash. Secondary, I'm going to say that's a wash. Neither secondary to me has shown that we're dominant. I think the Eagles have shown that we're better than expected, but I don't think either one of them are dominant. So if I had to give an edge, I would give it to the Eagles. And for that reason, I think from a skill position standpoint, I think the Chiefs may have better players at certain positions, tight end, quarterback, right? But overall, matchup-wise, it's the Eagles. So here's what I'm looking forward to. The defensive line of the Philadelphia Eagles, you don't have to blitz at all. You can rush 4, and Hassan Riddick has proven to people, this is what I do. Like, he should, honestly, like, if he got Defensive Player of the Year, nobody would, you cannot argue it. You cannot argue it. You could just make a case for Nick Bosa, but you can't argue.
2 less sacks, 4 more forced fumbles, 3 more recovered.
You can't argue it.
This is a guy that got
Numbers don't lie.
extensions by 3 different teams.
And
He's gonna get his money.
And you
he's gonna get paid.
And you got 4 guys.
Oh, he
with
got paid.
double-digit sacks,
They paid
right?
nicely.
You got 4 guys with double-digit sacks. Okay, so they're going to do what they've done all year. The offensive line is going to do what they've done all year. And here's the crazy part. Lane Johnson has gotten 2 weeks to get that groin healthy. And we saw what he did against Nick Bosa, who won Defensive Player of the Year on a bad groin. So we know the offensive line is going to do what they're going to do. Jalen Hurts has been consistent all year. He has not lost a game that he has started and finished this year. He has not lost a game that he has started and finished this year. So for me, the game that he lost against the Washington Commanders, he got hurt and was taken out that game. Every other game that he started and finished, W. And as a matter of fact, to clinch the number 1 seed, he did it without throwing a touchdown. He ran 3 touchdowns. Like, to me, here's what I'm looking forward to. Can the secondary of the Philadelphia Eagles be disciplined when, because it's going to happen, when Patrick Mahomes gets out the pocket? If they can be disciplined when he scrambles, because he's going to have to, that defensive line is too good in the middle and on the edges. He's going to have to move. If they can be disciplined, that's going to be the matchup for me. Can you be disciplined when MVS decides to break off and go deep down the field? Can you be disciplined when Travis Kelce decides to sit in that window? Can you be disciplined when Pacheco decides to go up the sideline? Can you be? That's where the question mark concerns me, because that's been the biggest Achilles heel for the Eagles secondary this year. Not their gameplay, not their skill set. It's been their discipline. We know Bradbury, he was nice on the Giants. We knew that. That's why the Eagles got him. We knew Darius Slay was nice in Detroit for years. We're not talking about whether or not these 2 guys can play. It's whether or not they can be disciplined. And we all know about CJ. We all know about CJ. He's a dog. He's gonna go get it. So my question is just number 1 against the pass. Just saying, absolute again.
They're also the number 1 red zone defense.
Without question, they lock up. Do not get me wrong. I'm not saying that secondary does not lock up. I'm saying that they can be undisciplined, and we've seen people like Darius Slay, who is a lockdown corner, get beat. Not because of technique, because of discipline. When he's locked in, you're not beating Darius Slay. It's discipline. Same thing with Bradbury. When they're locked in, also CJ Gardner drive a league interception and miss 5 minutes. Listen, this is not a slight against the secondary. This is me being a corner who knows how to lock up. That's I know how to. If I'm undisciplined and my eyes are in the backfield, what happens? You're gonna throw the football over my head. Every single time. I don't care how good you are. We've seen it with Jalen Ramsey. We've seen it with Darrelle Revis. We've seen it with Deion Sanders. If your eyes are not disciplined, you're going to get beat. And that's the thing that I'm looking forward to the most to see. Can that secondary be disciplined when Patrick Mahomes gets outside and has some great plays? Coach, talk to me.
I'm gonna even back it up a little bit more there for you, Avery. They're not being disciplined because of how good that front 4 does.
Exactly.
That front 4 gets after it so much that secondary does not have to do as much when
they
it comes
take chances. They take chances,
and that's why they have the picks. That's why they have the stops. I get that they're number 1, but again, it's that front 4 that's allowing them to be so lackadaisical and allowing them to go ahead.
Let's not slight.
No, I'm not saying that they're terrible. They will still be a top 5 pass defense, but they're number 1 because
I don't want to slight their linebackers though. It's their front 7 because to Juan's point, he said who's going to cover Kelce. Again, Edwards is a very good linebacker in coverage. He's a very good linebacker in coverage. So you get him in coverage and a bracket over top. I'm not saying
I'm sorry.
you're not going to stop Travis Kelce. You can maybe be able to slow him down. You're not going to stop him. I'm just saying. I don't know. It's all I'm saying.
Want to add on. I do want to add on to Coach's point about that front set.
It will be.
It will be. But that's huge. That is huge.
So
who is
back on Coach's staying on the lineup. So fun fact. So in all of his playoff games, Mahomes has been sacked 18 times. 11 of those sacks come from 4-player pressures on the defensive line. So you don't need to blitz him. You just have to get him to bounce around and stay in the pocket enough to get to him. And like we mentioned, with Wiley being that weak link in the interior, you just got to drum up pressure from there to get to Mahomes.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Don't let him outside the pocket. Allow him to dance inside the pocket. And that's what the Eagles do very well. You're not getting outside of Hassan Reddick. He's just been that good this year. You're not getting outside of him. And let's not forget about Montez Sweat, who's absolutely just been balling this year as well. And he has one of the greatest celebrations in the history of football because of his name. Super lit. And then you plug up the middle with, you name it, right? Hargraves, Cox, Ndamukong Suh, Jordan. So as long as you get him off his spot and don't allow him outside the pocket, but even with that, you still have to remain disciplined because to Coach's point, because they're so good, you can lack discipline. You're like, I see you go. I as a corner, I just know me. If I see Hassan Reddick bend off the end, I'm probably going to stop running. I'm like, all right, he got him.
Shout out Robert Quinn. Did we mention Robert Quinn is on his roster? And he was like that big trade addition from the Bears. We didn't even mention him. He hasn't even been in the headlines as a pass rusher. That's how deep this is.
That's what I was saying, Chris. Those other guys are going to have to step up, right? Shut Kelce down and make those other guys step up. That's how you beat KC.
I think Wifey brought up a huge point because I think Maddox is the best slot corner in the NFL. I think he's the best slot corner in the entirety of the NFL. I think he's that good. That's just my personal opinion. He changes that defense 110%. I think he's that good. I think he reminds me of when we had the Falcons before we went to the Jets. Brian
Poole.
Yes, Brian Poole. He reminds me of that guy. He'll come up and tackle. He's not the best tackler, but he will put his nose in, and he absolutely just knows how to read from the slot. He's not that fast. He's not that quick, but he's got good enough feet, and his technique is impeccable. So, to me, I see that for Maddox. I think Maddox is the best slot corner in the NFL. He's a huge lift on that in that secondary. So with that being said, we're going to jump right into Maddox and CJ help shore up the middle of it. Absolute 110%. We're going to jump into our predictions. Juan, we already got yours. We know that you are going to pick the Philadelphia Eagles. Do you have a score prediction before I move to Coach and Mr. Reddick? Do you have a score prediction?
35-30 off a last second Jalen Hurts to Devontae Smith touchdown.
All right. I like it. I'm not mad at it. All right. Coach, talk to me. Give me a prediction.
Do I have to give my pick?
Give me a prediction. Yes, absolutely.
Like for everyone here?
Yes. Right now.
45-42. Chiefs.
Oh. Turn it up louder.
Whoa.
What?
45, 42.
I heard what I said. I'm not repeating myself. I'm already getting in trouble for this pick right now.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm getting yelled at later.
Listen, Wifey, don't hurt him too bad. Let him live to see the Super Bowl.
Well, can I say why at least? Can I say why?
Please.
Okay. I see it either being a 3-point game no matter what, because I do feel like both offenses are going to score no matter what. Who's going to have the ball last? I feel like they're going to let Patrick Mahomes have the ball last. That's my only fear. And if Patrick Mahomes has the ball last, we've seen what he does in his career with the ball last. That is my only fear. But if he does not have the ball last, Eagles win it. Point blank period. But I really have a feeling, and listen, I really have a feeling about this whole narrative thing with the NFL I feel like Patrick Mahomes going to get the ball with the last like minute or so.
It's scripted.
I don't feel like that's going to be right, but I feel like that's going to happen. Like it feels too scripted, but it's so many times that it happens like that.
Coach,
and I really don't want it to, but
Coach,
I can see it.
Coach, it's in the script. It's in the script, bro.
I was in the writer's room when we was writing the script. Yeah.
Like,
Is that what your job is, Darius? Is that why Tom Brady has so many Super Bowls, Darius?
It's in the script. Mr. Riddick.
It got me.
Mr. Riddick, talk to me. Give me your prediction, man. What do you think?
Another thing that I forget we talk about, and I think we don't talk about enough, right? Experience, right? Like experience matters when it comes down to playing in these high atmosphere games, right? Andy Reid, he's been here before. This is not his first Super Bowl, game, right? So experience matters, right? Kansas City has that experience with Patrick Mahomes. Philadelphia doesn't have that experience with Jalen Hurts, not just yet. So for me, that's really what's going to matter. And it's like Darren said, what quarterback do you trust the most with the ball in their hand, less than a minute left, one timeout, got to drive the ball 75 yards? And it goes back to what I said, experience. Like Patrick Mahomes has proven that he can get the job done. Jalen Hurts has yet to do it. I believe Jalen Hurts will do it, but I just take Patrick Mahomes. I'm going with Kansas City. I think, and it goes back to what I said, I think the first 2 quarters, we're going to see a defensive game, right? It's going to be a lot of 3 and outs, a lot of nerves from both quarterbacks. I think, Mahomes is going to be a little bit nervous. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be nervous. But then once that second half comes in and, both coaches give that halftime speech, I think that's where we're going to see the playbook really open up, and we're going to see both offensive coordinators be very, very creative. So I'm going to take Kansas City. I'm going to go 30-28 Kansas City.
I just want to say, Darius, what happened the last time that this Eagles team showed up to a Super Bowl was a head coach that never been there before?
All right. And what happened? And Tom Brady threw for 500 yards. People forget that. Tom Brady lit them up.
But did he win?
Lit them up.
But did he win?
Again,
lit them up. 500 yards. Hashtag 500.
But
Hashtag 500 with 3
So what are you saying? That Patrick Mahomes is going to throw for 500 yards and still lose? That's what I hear you're saying right now.
I wasn't in that meeting when they scripted that game. I was
got one simple question.
I was on PTO, Juan. I wasn't on PTO. I was on PTO.
Just a simple question. Doesn't this defense of the Eagles remind you a bit of what Patrick Mahomes had to deal with the Bucs' defense? A good front four, the linebackers were solid, and the secondary knew how to stop the big plays over the top.
But Kansas City didn't have their offensive line,
and that's why I say again, I like KC because they know how to deal with this type of defense.
Wow,
they've done it.
Wow.
First of all, that's a bar. That is a bar.
That's a bar. Y'all got it.
All right, listen. I'm gonna be honest here, man. This is tough to say. This is tough because I honestly, this is one of those situations where there's a juggernaut, but then it doesn't matter when it comes to the juggernaut because there's a Michael Jordan, right? We all know who Michael Jordan is in this scenario. Patrick Mahomes is Michael Jordan. He's the Michael Jordan, and you can never count out Michael Jordan. When Michael Jordan gets there, it's like, it's not to say that he's guaranteed, but it's just like, how do you bet against him? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bet against him. This is going to be hard to say. I don't think it's going to be close. I think the Eagles absolutely demolish the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I think the Eagles absolutely demolish the Kansas City Chiefs and show that we have been the best team the entire year. We have not lost when our starting quarterback has started and finished the game. We have the best offensive line in the league. We have a top 3 defense in the league. We have some of the best receivers in the league. I don't think it's going to be close. I think the Eagles come out and absolutely dominate over again, it's a situation where I look at the matchups, and every single matchup on the field that counts and that matters, the Eagles have the advantage. Offensive line, Eagles. Defensive line, Eagles. Skill position, Eagles.
Secondary.
And let's call it what it is. Even when it comes to quarterback, the drop-off isn't that far. Jalen Hurts probably, if he won MVP, who's going to be mad? Exactly. He's been that good.
Could have won it.
I think it's 33.
He only get one vote.
30,
That's disrespectful.
33-10 Eagles.
That's
I feel
disrespectful.
like that.
Hold on.
38
it's not scripted
That's
like that.
disrespectful.
33.
I'm sorry.
And here's the thing. The 10 is out of my respect for Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. I think it's going to be an absolute. I think the Eagles are going. Especially now, Travis Kelce told the Chiefs fans, "Do not do anything to that Rocky statue," and the Chiefs fan had the audacity to go ahead and post it. I think the Eagles come out and absolutely destroy Kansas City. And here's the thing: we're due for a blowout. When's the last time we had a blowout in the Super Bowl? It was
2 years ago.
2 years ago. We don't need another one. We don't need another one. It's not scripted.
That wasn't really a blowout.
What did you?
It was. They only put
31-9, not a blowout.
Not a blowout.
They didn't put double digits up. They put, what was it, 7 or 9 or something like that?
That was like 23-9 or something.
No, it was 31-9. I'm telling y'all, I remember
31-9, and you want another blowout.
31-9.
If you look at the flow of the game, to me, that's not a blowout.
That's a blowout. That's the definition of a blowout.
What did he
He was
do?
running for his life.
If you look
He
at the
put up
flow,
9 points. That was the number 1
Patrick
offense.
Mahomes threw a pass.
The number 1 offense that year.
They still did not complete it when it hit the receiver in the hands.
Every
That's
knows something
nothing
we
but
don't
a
know.
blowout.
listen, ladies and gentlemen, all I'm saying is this:
This guy's.
I just believe that it's going to be. I think it's going to be dark, man.
It's a blowout.
I think it's going to be dark, and I think people. And here's the reason why. Here's the main reason why. In the last 29 years, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna throw this stat out to you. In the last 29.
How long you been alive?
Yeah, yes. In the last 29 years, the quarterback
I know where you're going with this.
who has won the NFL MVP has lost the Super Bowl.
I knew you were going with that.
Listen, man. I'm not superstitious. I'm not one of those people who believe in conspiracies and all of that. All I'm just saying is I think that there's a huge the matchups, y'all. Like I can't.
It's
in my mind.
from positions 2 to 53. It's all Philadelphia, but
In my-
position number 1 is KC.
Listen,
That's
in my mind,
The number 1 most important position is Kansas City.
in
But
my
everyone
they have
else
to
is
win.
Philly.
They have to.
Listen.
Everyone else is Philly.
in my mind, I feel really bad saying this because Patrick Mahomes is that good. Like he's Jordan. The dude he's that good, right? Like he's
He's more LeBron, but
not. I mean,
it's Jordan.
yeah, probably, yeah,
Definitely
whatever. Either way, whoever you have as the GOAT is my opinion. I personally have LeBron, but my point is, you can't count this dude out. And it's hard to say, but the Eagles, and I said, y'all remember at the beginning of this season, what did I say? I said it. I said the Eagles will go as far as Jalen Hurts take them. And I also said he will be an MVP consideration as long as he plays well. This is what I said. Go back. I said this. And what did we – and the reason was because of that offensive line, the weapons that they had, and I knew that defense, getting Jordan Davis next to Fletcher Cox. This is before they had Hargrave. This is before they had Ndamukong Suh. Like, I don't see it being close, yo. I don't see it being close.
Well, we're all focusing on the game, but I kind of wanted to just throw this out real quick. I know that a lot of people who tune in for the Super Bowl watch for the halftime show and Rihanna featuring on it. And if I could give a hot take real quick for the halftime show, because I was born on the island of Barbados.
It's not Thursday.
So I love Rihanna much more than I feel like a lot of other people do. With that being said, I feel like Rihanna's halftime show is going to be way better than Beyonce's. That's my hot take for it.
Okay. I'm not mad at it.
She did break the lights and the stills. So
question for you: is wifey coming on? That's the first question. The second question is, what do you?
Why you got the seat right here? She can come on anytime she wants.
Oh, she got to jump on. She got to jump on and talk about her prediction. We need.
Oh man,
we need your prediction.
All right.
You need a prediction for me?
We need your prediction.
Okay.
Unbiased.
I can't give you one that's unbiased. I can.
Can we talk about the Rihanna and the
I'm gonna let that slide. I'm not even gonna do that today. That's a whole different topic. We can do a whole different show. I'm gonna give it to my boys, of course. Fly was fly. But I do think it's gonna be a close game. And it's gonna be a high scoring game. So I'll give it like a good 47-42.
Listen.
But we're gonna talk later.
I told y'all.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not.
But it's okay though. It's okay though. I still stand on what I said.
Yeah.
Oh man, I knew I was getting in trouble for that comment.
There it is. All right. Real quick before we get into all the hot takes, let me ask you guys, what is, because the season is over, what is like your biggest moment of the year? What is the biggest moment of the year for you? Or do you have the biggest moment of, do you think that's going to happen in the Super Bowl? Talk to me, guys. Let's go. I'll go with, Coach, I'll start with you first. You look eager.
Cool. So I got one that I was trying to figure out because me and wifey was talking. We was like, the Jags coming back from the Chargers. That was a great one. The Damar Hamlin bringing everyone together because of how serious that was a great one. But then we really thought about it because we already know it's so many great things that happen in football. So we tried to take a different approach. What was the funniest thing that happened in football this year? And you know what we came up with? This is how you know we from Philly. The fact that he missed 4 straight, and people started betting on the fact that he was going to miss field goals in the playoffs. And what happened? It got blocked. That was hands down the best moment. I swear. We loved every minute of it. We started making bets on it. We were so happy for it to happen. Listen, I'm a Philly man. So whenever the Cowboys go down, I'm all for it. Let's go. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what he's referring to, Brett Maher missed 4 extra points.
Was it 4 or was it 5?
It actually was 5. I think it was 4 extra points and 1 field goal. I think it was 4 extra points and 1 field goal. I think it was. So total
man. Yo,
it was really bad.
Hands down the funniest moment in the entire. Like, you can't make that up. That's not even scripted. They was like, dang, you just bad.
That was tough. I feel bad for anybody whose fantasy football team went that far in the regular season and had Brett Maher on the team. And he may have lost them. Oh my. Could you imagine being in the championship game with a kicker who has one of the best legs, if not the best leg in the league?
George is crying.
Listen, you talk about a bad beat. You talk about a bad beat. I'm trying to tell you, I'm ready to fight.
Oh, stacking a full bad beat, put him on all of it. He put on all of it.
Man, look. All right, Darius, what is your unforgettable moment of the year? Your thing that was the best moment of the year, or that you're looking forward to for the Super Bowl?
We had a very memorable season. I think we all can say for our teams, right? We all can say our teams had some very memorable. The kickoff return, the punt return against the Jets in Foxborough. I remember being there like, oh my God, this really just happened. But one of the things that I think one of the best moments to me watching just from as a fan standpoint was, the comeback against the Chargers, right? Like Trevor Lawrence, he threw all those interceptions and then he didn't lose his composure, right?
I like that.
He didn't lose his composure. Throwing those 4 interceptions and his coach still believing in him. I think as a fan, you kind of have to just look at that as inspirational, and then them coming back. And the Chargers, a team that literally on paper before the season started, everybody had the Chargers going to the Super Bowl, right? Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, that defense, bringing in J.C. Jackson, Derwin James. Like, that was a team. The only thing that was going to stop the Chargers from being in the Super Bowl was injuries, not Trevor Lawrence. Not a guy who literally, before he lost against Cincinnati on Saturday, has never lost on a Saturday, literally won that game. I think as a fan, you don't have to be a fan of the Jaguars or a fan of Trevor Lawrence, but just watching that game, right? Like, them being down, you're kind of like, this game is over. I don't really care. We're going to lose. Next thing you know, you turn it on, and then Jags come back, and you see them winning on a game-winning field goal. So to me, that was the best. The worst, obviously, that lateral. I don't know what we were doing. Watching that live, I honestly wanted to just pull my hair and literally, like,
wait, you went to that one?
No. I'm saying, like, I watched it. No, I watched it on TV. Like, I was literally watching it, and I'm like, how do you explain this to anybody? Like, literally the worst way to lose a game, and I just had to just take it, man. It was one of those. It was one of those things, man. So.
Well, there you have it, folks. Juan, give me best moment.
So I'll give best moment and my favorite moment.
Okay.
Best moment for me was when I got to be at Lambeau Field to watch the Jets kick the absolute hell out of the Packers, and watching dejected Packers fans look at me in contempt as Sauce Gardner walked off that field with a cheese head on. That was one of the most satisfying moments as a football fan that I ever got to be a part of. So that's one. But for me, so to preface it, Josh McDaniels is a horrible coach. He's a great offensive coordinator, but a terrible head coach for the Raiders. He gave up, I think, 6 double-digit leads, on average 17 plus in the second half this year for the Raiders, but none was more absolutely hilarious than when he gave up one of those leads to a Baker Mayfield-led Rams team who was only on the team for 2 days. 2 days.
I forgot about that.
The man got cut because Wilkes did not like his style of play in Carolina. Showed up with literally a paper bag full of clothes. Basic plays on the Rams offense. Down 17-0 at halftime. And then orchestrated a comeback to beat the Raiders on primetime Thursday night football. You can't tell me that's not only the epitome of the coaching style of Josh McDaniels, the epitome of the lackluster management of the Las Vegas Raiders, and the pitifulness of the display of matchups that Thursday night football has had this year.
Thursday night football has absolutely been pretty mediocre this year.
And it wasn't scripted to be good. I'm sorry, guys.
It sucks because last year's Thursday night football games were absolutely phenomenal. They were just so good.
We get one good year and one bad year.
Best moments. I'm gonna say I'm gonna give an honorable mention first, and my honorable mention is to the New York Giants. I did not expect that. I did not expect what I saw from the New York Giants this year. I did not expect it. I actually expected to see what I saw from the Jets because I saw the pieces that they had on defense. I saw the moves that they made in the draft and in free agency. So I expected the Jets to be pretty solid as long as they had pretty decent quarterback.
Can Aaron Rodgers get out of his damn cave already? Oh.
Listen, Aaron Rodgers to the Jets would be phenomenal. But anyway, for me, the New York Giants, seeing Saquon bounce back the way that he did, seeing Daniel Jones go into a playoff game and just absolutely dominate, 300 yards, like he looked like he belonged. And To me, I think the NFL is better when the New York Football Giants are playing good football. I think they're one of those teams where it's like if the New York Giants, the Cleveland Browns, the New York Jets, when they're playing well, I just think the NFL does better. And so I was really grateful to see what I saw from the joint. The worst thing of the season was all the announcer shuffles. I didn't realize how much I missed Buck and Amy Fox. Also, was bored on Amazon. No, Al Michaels hates Amazon. He absolutely hates Amazon.
The way that he called out Dan Snyder in that Bears Commanders game.
He absolutely but
you could tell he was looking to get something.
The actual best moment of the NFL, and this is being a man of faith, outside of all of this, the first thing I am is a man of faith. I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I proudly profess that. I'm not ashamed of it, and I will never be ashamed of it. From after seeing what happened and what took place with Damar Hamlin and seeing the two teams come together and pray for him on the field was absolutely amazing, but also to see the nation come together and pray for this man, that was absolutely phenomenal to me. But the thing that made my year, was seeing somebody in media who he owed this man nothing. He owes the league nothing. He owes the media nothing. He owes the network nothing. He owes nobody anything. Dan Orlovsky went on live television and prayed. He went on live television and prayed in front of the entirety of the nation, in front of everybody. When RG3 was told that the shirt that he was wearing that glorified Christ had to be turned inside out before his press conference, Dan Orlovsky took a stand and said, I'm going to pray on live television. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, my thoughts and prayers are with you. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, I'm going to pray for you and then go home and honestly forget about you. I'm going to do it right here, right now. And he said, I don't even know if this is the right thing to do, because he knew his livelihood was in jeopardy. The world hates, and this is just scripturally sound, the world hates Christ. And he was not ashamed. And so for me, that was absolutely the best moment of the year. So Dan Orlovsky, if you ever see this, I salute you as a brother in Christ, as a man of faith, as somebody who believes in what you believe in. I am absolutely appreciative of you taking that stand, because a lot of times we as people of faith, we take a back seat. We shun ourselves. We quiet our voices because we don't want to seem like we're judgmental. We want to seem like we're trying to force our faith on people. We quiet ourselves because the world typically pushes us down because of it, not understanding that we just want people to experience the freedom that we have. And so I'm appreciative that he did that. Shout out to him. Salute to him. Dan Orlovsky, that was absolutely, for me, my favorite, but not just my favorite, in my opinion, the best moment of the entire NFL football year. So that was it for me. With that being said, Coach, go ahead. Go.
Vikings Colts. Vikings Colts. Never going to unlive that. They cannot live that down. And also, let's ride.
He wins.
That's it right there.
Yo,
that's it right there.
That was very heartfelt.
That's it right there.
Bars dropping bars tonight.
That's not just the best part about all this. How about the fact that his charity isn't even donating most of the money that they're earning in the first place?
Oh my God. Broncos country.
That's right.
No. Broncos country. Let's take the money and hide.
Hey, Juan, chill out. Juan, chill.
Hey, yo.
As many touchdowns as he had.
Juan.
Man had 12 bathrooms.
My.
No, Russell Wilson has 12 bathrooms. He scored 12 touchdowns in week 16 of the season.
So are you saying that I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there. Yes. All right, let's get the hot takes real quick. I'm gonna start with you,
I'm
Darius.
seeing a diss in your future, Avery.
Darius, talk to me. Give me your hot takes.
All right, I got one because it's scripted. I actually wrote this one, so if when it comes true, just hit the chat. Patrick Mahomes breaks the Super Bowl passing record tomorrow. He's gonna throw for over 500 passing yards, and it's all gonna be. He's gonna do most of his dominating, like I said, in the second half. Hashtag 550. Hashtag 550.
Hashtag 550.
Hashtag 550.
Wow, almost 600 yards in the Super Bowl against the Philadelphia
against that number one ranked pass defense. It's a hot take.
All right.
Okay.
All right. The one and only. The one and only. Talk to me. Give me your hot take.
My hot take.
It's not Thursday.
It's not hot take. It's hot take Saturday. It's hot take Saturday. My hot take is that Beyonce's gonna sing with Rihanna in the Super Bowl. She'll pop up. They're gonna have a duet of S&M, which is an original what they did with Britney Spears, but it's gonna be Beyonce instead.
I'm not mad at that. Not mad at that at all.
You made a whole lot of fans happy right there.
Coach,
oh yeah, they're gonna make history. You don't know. That's history right there.
Hot take, Coach.
I don't know how hot this is going to be, but again, I think it's going to be a shootout no matter what. But I don't think it's going to be a passing shootout. Both backfields, running backs. I'm not saying one running back or multiple running backs, but in the backfields there will be over 150 rushing yards for both teams and 3 touchdowns on the ground for both teams. Yeah, shootout. Didn't say how you got to shoot it out, people.
If I could give a quick one. Football related, Super Bowl MVP is Dallas Goedert with 3 touchdowns from Jalen Hurts.
I feel like that's a hot take with Dallas Goedert, but it wouldn't be a hot take for Travis Kelce.
Okay.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
Hot take. There's nothing to do with the. Well, all right. I'm gonna give you 2 hot takes. My first hot take, I'm going to go the Juan route. It's not going to be Beyonce. Rihanna is going to bring out none other than Christopher Brown. They are going to, yeah, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to piece it up for this moment, and it's going to be almost like a slap in the face to the man Jay-Z, who does not show up to the Grammys if Chris Brown is slated to perform. She is going to bring out Christopher Brown to perform with her at the halftime of the Super Bowl 57 halftime show.
I'd sooner want to see Drake.
I mean, they've got a good.
Like, the shot value is just going to be. But
Twitter going to be twittering. I don't think that's not scripted. Avery.
They might break Twitter with that one.
They would. But for all the wrong reasons.
It's not scripted, Avery. I can tell you that, brother.
Oh my God, no!
He's not going to be there. We didn't script that in the right.
I hope he's not there.
It's going to be
Chris Brown of all people.
It's going to be a brand new.
All people.
They're going to start.
Chris Brown.
Listen, they're going to start with.
I was going to say ASAP Rocky, but okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought
he was going to go that route. Okay, you just said.
ASAP is easy. ASAP is easy.
You super U-turn. Wow.
He said it's breezy in here.
My hot take for the game.
Mama, there goes that man.
My hot take for the game is my MVP pick. My MVP pick. Over 220 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns. Devontae Smith wins the NFL Super Bowl MVP. Devontae Smith shows up and shows out in the Super Bowl tomorrow. I think they're going to focus too much on A.J. Brown. I think they're going to be concerned with Jalen Hurts' legs, not realizing that this dude can actually throw the football too. And I think that I think Devontae Smith gonna do to him, whoever's guarding him. That's just my opinion.
Devontae Smith kind of
200, right?
like a small.
Is he going to actually catch it, or is he going to like catch it and be like, yo, we got to get this joint down?
Over 220
Situational awareness, man.
Listen, it's great. I'm happy he did it. It was small.
Was it called a catch?
It was, but it wasn't a catch.
Was it
Wasn't
called?
a catch. We all know that wasn't a catch.
Was it
catch
called?
that was never a catch.
Was it a
Did they
catch?
go-
Was it called a catch?
Megatron.
It was.
What is a catch, people?
It was
What is a catch?
Hey, listen. He was again to Juan's situational awareness. If
That was
I'm
the smoothest
listen,
catch I ever
at
seen.
the end of the day,
Let's keep it a buck. That was
the
smoothest
opposing
catch
coaches did not see him saying, "Yo, let's get to." So that's on them. That's on them.
ever. He was hurt. He showed that. Yeah,
You know who saw it? You know who saw it? Jalen Hurts. Let's go. Let's go.
Jalen was like, "Oh yeah, he didn't do that. Let's go." Small. That we talking about experience. That's experience right there.
Chris, you won. Stop it.
That's Alabama coaching, baby. That's Alabama. Roll Tide.
Well, we gotta do that. Woo! So we gotta wrap the show up. Wrap the show up, Avery. Wrap the show up.
With that being said,
Get on the show.
we're gonna wrap up the Air It Out show.
Oh, damn it.
We're gonna wrap it up again. I thank you all for tuning in. Thank you so much for joining in. It's been an amazing season. Don't think that we're going anywhere. We got the off season that we're about to kick off too. You know what I'm saying? And the Air It Out podcast is the where you need to be, because Inside the Hashes is the apex of football. So please do me a favor. Follow us on all your social media platforms. That's Inside the Hashes on Facebook and on Instagram. Inside Hashes on Twitter. And please do me a favor. Go to the website and go ahead and check that out. www.insidethehashes.com. You can get all of the content that you need. Literally, fantasy football, gaming. Yeah, we got that. We got podcasts. We got player interviews. All of those different things that you guys need. You should absolutely go to the website. Just should have just said nothing. We're gonna let that be.
I can't wait till the game is over.
We're gonna let that be what it is.
Don't let the Eagles lose.
Listen, we're gonna let it be what it is. And if you're questioning how can I do this, I don't feel like going all around here and doing all those things. Just do me a favor. Scan that QR code that you see at the top of the screen, right there. Scan that QR code so you can get right to all of the stuff that you need, and especially to our YouTube channel. Go to our YouTube channel, hit the like button, please subscribe, and turn on your notifications. That way you will know when we go live. You can get your comments dropped in our live episodes, just like you saw here today. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up. The Super Bowl is tomorrow. Super Bowl 57. I hope you guys tune in.
Hold on, wait a minute. I got a feeling everybody to do it again. But instead of Matt Ryan patting the ball, can we talk about how Patrick Mahomes about to have to be patting it back there, trying to figure out who he's going to throw it to?
Well, I actually wasn't going to go back Ryan. I wasn't going to do that. What I was going to say is, for Juan, for Darius, for Coach, my name is Avery. This is the Air It Out podcast brought to you by Inside the Hash. All I was going to say was that the Super Bowl is going to feature two of the greatest quarterbacks that I think we'll ever see in NFL history. And one of those could have been Matt Ryan if he stopped.
He had me going, yo.
He's a better broadcaster than quarterback right now with that noodle
All
arm.
I'm saying is he could